Hey mamas, welcome to today's workout. We have a 10-minute second trimester prenatal yoga workout. We're going to be moving through yoga poses that are some of my favorites for the second trimester to help you stay comfortable, flexible through your pregnancy and just calm your nervous system. We're going to begin seated. You may consider using a yoga block or something later on. I'll show you what we're going to do with that in a bit, but I'm going to keep my bench here close by for our next exercise. So first we're going to begin with that left hand on the floor. We're going to do a seated side body stretch. So we're going to reach the right arm up and over, and as we're reaching we want to go up then over, leaning into that left side but keeping the sits bones grounded. And then you can stay up higher, you can start to work a little deeper as long as those sits bones are staying grounded and you're opening through that side body. I want you to think about also rotating that chest open a little bit and staying open through this side too. So we're not just collapsing here, we're staying open and creating space through here. Start to take some deep breaths. Think about breathing into that rib cage, into those lats right through here. And then just relax the neck, jaw, and shoulders. It's going to be all about just alleviating tension today, creating openness in the body, and we'll do that same thing on the other side. So again, you can stay up high or start to work down toward the floor, but don't lose that chest openness. I can't quite go all the way to the ground. I'm just a naturally tight, tense person, so this is hard, especially as we progress through pregnancy, second trimester, things naturally become more tight, tense. Our body changes quite a bit, so depending on where you're at, give your body lots of grace. It's time to appreciate what it's done. Use this time to just calm our nervous system, which is equally as important as any other workout, doing things that really bring our awareness back to our breath, our body, gratitude. We're going to move to standing next, and this is where you may consider using a block or something else to help you in our modified triangle pose. So what we're going to use this for is a triangle pose, and we're going to modify it. Take your right foot, point it toward your prop. Your left foot's going to point forward. Now what we're going to do is start to lean into that leg, and I'm going to place my hand on my bench here. You want it to be pretty close so you're not having to really reach for it. You can use fingertips. You can go without it if you're comfortable just here, but if you've got a lot of pressure in your core or you just don't feel super supported, this is a great thing to use. So you want something, again, that's at a height that's appropriate for you. So if you want to get deeper into it, you could kind of bend that elbow, reach down, but don't lose that openness here to try to get down to the floor. I want you to think expansion, using that top arm to reach up. Again, breathing into these ribs. We really want to create breath and mobility through the ribs here, because we lose a lot of that in pregnancy, especially once we get to the second and third trimesters. We start to breathe in a more shallow breathing pattern. So we want to try to get that expansion in the ribs. Okay, now what we're going to do is come to the floor, and what we're going to do here, you can use your prop if you need it, but we're going to come to a 90-90 position. You can stay here, you can use your prop to just kind of focus on opening those hip flexors, or you can take your hand on the inside of the knee here and take that opposite arm up and over, and I want you to focus on pushing this hip flexor forward, creating a little bit of tension down that quad, a little stretch, and then pushing this knee open, but also pushing the knee into the hand. So you're not letting that fall. You're giving feedback, knee into the hand, hand into the knee. And then you're going up and over, just like that side body stretch. We want to reach up, then over, not quite as deep into that side lean. But again, breathing through the ribs, getting that expansion through the hip flexors, releasing that psoas, which often gets tight during pregnancy. So this is really good for just improving posture as well. Taking some deep breaths, and we're going to switch to the other side now. So take that prop over to the other side, modified triangle pose. Point your foot toward the prop. Other foot's going to be pointed forward. Now you can go a little bit wider if you want a little more stability. You can go a little bit narrow if you want a little more for the hamstring, a little more stretch. So again, using that top arm to reach up, opening the chest, and just breathing into that rib cage. You can go fingertips, you can go knee on the inside or hand on the inside of the knee, or if you're feeling comfortable, you don't need to use the prop. But again, don't lose that openness in the upper body. So you can see I'm giving you lots of different options to make it work for you wherever you're at in your pregnancy. And I know second trimester, there's a lot of variance in terms of where our bodies are at. So just appreciate where yours is at today and do what feels good for you. We're gonna move back to the floor, and you can use that prop again for that kneeling lunge. If you wanna just stay here, kind of just breathe into those hips, whatever feels good, or you can take the hand on the inside of the knee. Remember, we're pushing hand to knee, knee to hand, arm up and over, reaching up, over, pushing this hip flexor forward. So we're pushing this hand in here, and you're going to feel that feedback through this opposite side, through that hip flexor, all the way up through the ribs, the lats, the shoulders, and make sure you're not really shrugging those shoulders up. Try to create that space in the upper back and the neck as well. And using that breath. Just taking nice deep breaths, calming the nervous system, bringing your focus back to your body. And we're gonna move into a Garland pose. You can also use your prop for this if you'd like. I will show you first from the front and then from the side. So you're gonna take your feet a little bit wider than hips. Depending on how big your belly is, you may need to go wider or more narrow. I'm gonna drive my elbows in toward the inner thighs and then prayer hands at the heart center here. So toes are gonna turn out a little bit and knees should fall over the toes. Heels are down. This is key. If your heels are not down, this is not going to be effective. So this is where your prop really comes in handy. You can use this or something higher up if you need a chair to come higher in your squat. And I just want you to hang on to the back of that chair, hang on to your prop, and get as low as you can without rounding that spine, without coming into the balls of the feet or the toes. But if you can, come all the way down here. This is so good for opening up your pelvis for optimal positioning and alignment for your body, but also baby positioning. And just releasing that pelvic floor if you've got a tight pelvic floor. Now we're gonna come to the floor from modified pigeon pose. So we're gonna take one leg forward, the front leg 90 degrees, we're gonna flex that front foot. Now I'm gonna give you a couple options. You can keep this back leg here also at 90 degrees and just slowly lean into it. Again, belly size or comfort may just limit your mobility here, but if that feels good, stay there. You can also extend this back leg a bit. So you can lengthen the back leg, keeping that front knee at 90, flexing the front foot. Back foot can be relaxed. We are untucking those toes. Now, try to relax. I'm tense here. This is tight for me. But if you can make your way onto those forearms. And you can also use some props here if you need it, like a bolster or a blanket for support, for if you want to lay on your stomach, but you don't obviously want to put pressure on it, you could use that bolster or blanket. You could also use it for your upper body if you need a little support. We're going to do that same thing on the other side. So just switching the legs. Again, I'll show you the first option. Again, you can stay here. If you're feeling it here, you can stay here. If you want a little more, again, leaning forward, but not rounding the spine, not tensing the neck and shoulders. We want to create that openness through the hip. And we also want to try to stay centered. So we're not just leaning over to one side, staying centered to really open up those hips, to release that piriformis, that muscle in the middle of your butt that a lot of times gets really tight and tense, as do most muscles during pregnancy. A lot of things, hips, glutes, core, get tight and tense. So it's really important to open those up as much as we can. And just try to use your breath again to help your body relax into these poses. 1 minute might not be long enough. You know, you might need more time, and that's okay. All right, we're gonna keep our knees wide now. And we're gonna untuck the toes, shift back into those hips for wide child's pose. Again, here, if you want a blanket or something to help keep your ribs off the ground, protect your stomach, that's fine too. But you can take your knees as wide as it feels comfortable. Just release your upper body and let the head hang down. Try to focus on releasing any tension that you're still holding on to. So starting in the lower body of the hips, the belly, let go of those abs if you're holding on to the tension there, the ribs. Now the back, shoulders, neck, fingertips. Now the face, your jaw, your brow, your forehead, anything else there. And you can stay here as long as you like. I know we could probably all use a little extra time in that wide forward fold to release some tension and to relax a bit. But I hope even just in that 10 minutes, you feel more relaxed. Again, so important for pregnancy in every trimester, just to get that relaxation and calming of the nervous system, especially if you have other kids like I do as well. So I hope you all enjoyed that. And I'd love to hear your feedback, what workouts you're enjoying, where you're at in your pregnancy. I always love to hear from other women who are going through pregnancy at the same time as I am. I just think it's really fun to have this community. And if you need support, if you have questions, I always respond to comments as best as I can and try to answer your questions, and love to hear your feedback as well. So check out my playlists. I've got more workouts coming for every trimester, so I have them organized in my YouTube channel, playlists by trimester, so you know exactly which workouts are going to be appropriate for where you're at in your pregnancy or postpartum as well. And then I've got my YouTube guides linked in the description if you're wanting a more structured daily schedule, which workouts to do when. I've got those linked. Again, my website is below. So thank you guys for being here. I'll see you back here for our next workout together.